Welcome to a flute review, and we'll be taking a closer look at one of the flutes from my collection. Flute we're looking at today is from High Spirits Flutes. They are out of Patagonia, Arizona, and Odell Borg is the man behind High Spirits Flutes. This is in the key of A, and this is what they call their Sparrow Hawk. This is in their standard line. This one, however, is a little bit different than most of their standards. This was offered, when I got this, in Juniper. And Juniper is closest to Eastern Red Aromatic Cedar. Slightly different wood, and this has a lot of the lighter color. Has I think one little knot that I noticed right here in it, which is kind of normal to find in junipers, small knots. It has a walnut block here, a little bit older style of the Sparrow Hawk design that they use. And the High Spirits flutes are all made in a one-piece solid bore construction. So they bore all the way up and stop, and then they bore from the breath hole in and stop, and that's what creates the solid wall separating the two different chambers. The breath hole size is 3/8 of an inch, and that runs all the way to the wall. It doesn't have a larger slow air chamber like some flutes, but it is a little bit larger breath hole than many use. And the thought is that you would cover part of this breath hole with maybe your upper lip to better control the air input into the flute. And in that way, you're making this a little bit larger than the breath hole that you're blowing into. The bore size is 7/8. It has about a 1/4 inch wall thickness, very rounded foot end. It has no direction holes on the Sparrow Hawks. Regular 6-hole flute. It does have a dropped nest area. The flue is on the underside of the block, as are, I think, all of the High Spirits flutes. And here's the voice. The one thing that I found from High Spirits Flutes is that they tend to be so consistent throughout the entire range, whether you're looking at one of their standard flute offerings, a signature flute offering, anything like that. They don't really do custom flutes, but they do have the standard ranges, signature ranges, and the signature flutes are usually done in limited numbers. Each signature flute, this is a signature flute, for example, in A. In A, in this, which is the Nature's, what's it called? I don't remember what the name of this is. Nature's Beauty or something like that. Each signature flute line in the key of A will only be offered in 100 flutes. And then they either have to come up with a different signature flute or they will change the design. This one happens to be madrone and walnut, and then a madrone mouthpiece end with a madrone block sitting on top of a walnut base. So kind of a unique design for this. The bore size is a little bit different, and they do have an enlarged slow air chamber as the biggest difference, and using different woods. They use some harder woods quite often, but most of the signature flutes, I think, are made from red aromatic cedar. So that said, the High Spirit flutes are so consistent throughout their range. Signature or a signature flute or a standard flute, you can rely on them being in tune. I have not had, I think, but one flute that I've experienced that has been off in its tuning, and that one they replaced with no question. But I've tried a lot of High Spirits flutes, and they seem to always be so consistently right on that I can play them with other instruments very easily. So, High Spirits Flutes, the Sparrow Hawk. Odell Borg is the man behind that, out of Patagonia, Arizona, and they sell their flutes worldwide. Quite often people will start on a High Spirits flute, indeed the Sparrow Hawk like this one, as their first flute. They do sell worldwide. They have been played by both novice and professional musicians alike, for good reason. They're a great flute that you can always seem to rely on. So thank you for watching the flute review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and click the little bell down there next to the subscription button so that you will be notified anytime I do another closer look at one of the flutes from my collection, or a music video using these flutes along either with other instruments or solo by themselves. It might be a flute tutorial on how to play these wonderful, beautiful sounding, yet fairly simple to learn instruments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. Take care.